In Isaiah 41:10, in the Message, God says this to us: "Do not panic. I am with you. There is no need to fear, for I am your God. I will give you strength. I will hold you steady. I will keep a firm grip on you." Of late, I have felt the panic rising. So much sickness and darkness and death. COVID-19 is always looming, always affecting our choices, our decisions, our plans. I can usually keep the panic at bay when either my home life or my church life is calm, balanced, under control. But when both get out of whack and there is chaos and confusion at home and at church, then that's hard for me. That's happening now. The threat of COVID in our home, the death of beloved Trinity members, so much sickness, so many people needing care, love, and attention, the looming Lenten season, even Easter preparations. At times, it feels a little panicky. But God says, there is no need to fear. I am with you. Those words are calming, reassuring, comforting. I am not alone. God is with me, and we will get through this together. God says, I will give you strength. I like for people to think that I am strong, capable, that I can manage a lot, that it takes a lot to really get me down. But the reality is that I am human, made of flesh and bone, that in my humanity I am weak and vulnerable. We all are. We like to pretend otherwise, but we are weak. I am weak. As children of God, siblings in Christ, we are connected to infinite resources of power and strength. We just have to remember that on our own, we are weak, but connected to God, we are mighty. We get into trouble when we start to think that we can do it on our own. That's one of the reasons daily prayer and meditation is so important. It keeps us connected to God. It keeps us connected to God's vast, infinite resources. It keeps us strong. God says, I will hold you steady. I struggle with Meniere's disease, which means that I'm on a very low sodium diet, that I stay away from caffeine, that I struggle with bouts of dizziness. It can be severe, but mostly, as long as I stay away from sodium and caffeine, it's manageable. It's worse when I am under a lot of stress. When life is hard, I'm more aware of the unsteadiness, the dizziness. So what a comfort to hear that God will hold me steady, keep me from falling, help control the vertigo. When the world is out of control, when life is constantly throwing challenges at us, what a comfort to know that God is holding us steady, keeping us upright, helping us keep our chins up, our attitudes positive, our heads held high. God says, I will keep a firm grip on you. We are living in a time when it is not possible to touch each other, to embrace one another, to wrap our arms around each other, to find comfort and consolation in human touch. I really miss that. Recently, while visiting in the hospital, fully protected with mask, shield, gown, and gloves, another person, also wearing all the same personal protective equipment, hugged me. One of those long, tight, comforting embraces. It brought tears to my eyes to feel another human being's grip on me. With all the protective equipment, I felt safe enough to cherish the comfort of human touch, that physical connection. God says, I will keep a firm grip on you. So even when we cannot touch others who are outside of our COVID bubbles, we can be soothed, knowing that God keeps a firm grip on us, that God holds us close in God's arms, that we can feel the warmth, the love, the strength of God's touch. My siblings in Christ, these are challenging days. We often feel weak and weary. We sometimes wonder if we've got what it takes. But God has every confidence in us. When life gets scary and you are not sure about the next step, remember God's words to you. Do not panic. I am with you. There is no need to fear, for I am your God. I will give you strength. I will hold you steady. I will keep a firm grip on you. Let us keep the faith together. Let us depend on one another. Let us trust in God's power and strength. And together, let us journey through the darkness and into the light, the promised light of Christ.